Very few games strive to be peaceful and zen, and fewer still achieve it. However, Sable is one such game, a coming-of-age story set in the harsh desert landscapes of an alien planet, set off on a bittersweet rite of passage with a sense of wonder that's both foreign and familiar. And as a result, you get something that blurs the line between video games and interactive art. You'll play as the titular Sable, a young member of the Ibexi clan who embarks on a journey of self-discovery called the gliding, the equivalent of your parents telling you to go play outside and forgetting about you. In their culture, once you come of age, you're sent out alone to explore and discover your place in the world. By meeting new people from different clans and helping some along the way, you'll collect badges from tradespeople from all walks of life. At the end of your gliding journey, you'll come to choose a mask to call your own. With your very first steps on the sandy plains of Midden, you'll be struck by the highly stylized graphics redolent of Giraud, whose art style is almost synonymous with old comic books. If you ever get the chance, you should look him up. His art is really cool. The concept of Midden itself came from Star Wars' planet Jakku. Midden's desert biomes push life to the extremes, but there's some contrast as well, in not only the colors, but also the environments. From your relatively barren home, to pockets of lush oases, to the even more lifeless salt flats, you may find beauty in the desolate and inhospitable terrain. The premise of Sable is to explore the world at your own pace and find something that you like to do. After the opening tutorial, you're free to explore any region you choose in any order you desire. NPCs do offer some guidance with tasks, however you can choose to do them or ignore them all you like. Sable's open world, non-linear storytelling will put you into a meditative trance that dissolves your sense of time. It's complemented by a serene and touching soundtrack composed by Japanese Breakfast, who is specifically chosen because they've never worked on a video game soundtrack before, in the hopes of avoiding certain stylistic tendencies with video game music. The music alone is very good, but when paired together with the game, it transcends its medium and acts as a conduit for deeper emotions. Standing at the base of rocky monoliths and watching the world change with the dynamic day and night cycle does a remarkable job at making you feel small. Not in a belittling way, and not just physically either. It's a masterclass in perspective. There's no X-ray vision or magical bird that can scout overhead. It makes you earn those vistas by climbing and solving puzzles. It's a refreshing sensation that briefly absolves you of responsibility and allows for moments more insular and self-reflective. This game's basically an introvert's dream. The low stakes, low stress, no pressure approach is evident with the absence of combat. Without any combat, your mind is free to focus on other things and really take in what the game has to offer. If I had to describe this feeling, it's like a nice hike without the fear of spraining your ankle. Taking inspiration from Breath of the Wild, climb almost any surface by managing your stamina and glide your way to uncharted heights. Solve platforming puzzles to reach places that seem unreachable, find the purpose of these strange eggs, or simply pass the time fishing. If you're feeling especially adventurous, scale skyscraping cliffs, or investigate magnificent ancient ruins. Trailblaze your own path and uncover a lost history that's been eroded by the sands of time. There's a good amount of stuff to do, and how you go about it is entirely up to you. Quest objectives will point you in the right direction, but a lot of the game's charm lies in areas where quests don't direct you. Spend the extra time to check the space between spaces. If you do end up helping people, you'll be rewarded with stories, bike parts, and outfits. Don different masks and clothing to customize your appearance. Before we end the video, let's talk a bit about the performance, because this is probably the only blemish on this title. This game was made using Unity, and despite having one of the coolest styles I've ever seen, the game runs poorly, which can take you out of the experience sometimes. Stuttering can be pretty bad in some areas, and pop-ins are unavoidable. Climbing can also be a bit jank, but you can sometimes use that to your advantage. The game also bugs out more than I'd like, requiring me to completely restart the game. But on the bright side, I was always able to save, so I never lost progress. This game isn't for everyone though, but if you've played games like Abzu, Journey, or Outer Wilds and enjoyed it, then this is definitely in the same vein. There aren't many big immediate payoffs. This is more about the journey than the destination. It's around 8 to 10 hours on a normal playthrough, but you can expect to double that if you're hunting for achievements. The pacing is leisurely and relaxing, and it has some very touching moments. Sable is a fantastic concept, one that could easily be considered art even though it's hamstrung by technical ineptitude. There aren't many games that can overcome its performance troubles, but Sable does. So in spite of its technical deficits, Sable is a game I highly recommend.